Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we are back. And this is going to be part 2 of National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week 2024 here, partnership with the North Carolina 911 Board. Again, we are live here at Burke County 911 in Morganton, North Carolina. And the town, it was awesome, man. I just have to give a plug really quick for Moondog Pizza. If you're ever here, man, that was some great pizza. And they didn't have anything smaller than a 14-inch. And I didn't think I was going to be able to eat as much as I did, and I don't regret it. It was that good. So Moondog Pizza, if you're ever here in the area, stop there. It was excellent, and I am just honored and privileged to be able to do this and be here. And you know what I'm going to do really quick before I bring others back on, before I destroy this chair that I'm sitting in. and I say that because it's thoroughly squeaky. And I usually don't care, but for all of you who are out there who can hear it, you're probably thinking in your head, you need to switch your chair. So that's what I did just now. And thank you for giving me that moment. And I'm just going to throw this counter in, and we're going to jump right in, everybody. All right, and we are back. The squeakiness is gone, and I actually like this chair a lot better. I should have switched it out before, but we are about to get started here. Again, this is part 2 of what we're doing here this week. We did a version of this last year, and yesterday I was here and I did an 8-hour course. It was a lot of fun to have everybody in there and to connect, to share their stories. It was just a powerful moment throughout the whole time. So it was good. We learned from each other, and I just, again, honored and privileged and humbled to be able to be here and partner with North Carolina 911 Board to do this. First, I'm going to bring up Pokey Harris as well as Brian Tegmeyer, and we're going to jump in because we've got Mr. Brian Fonts as well with National NINA. So let's jump right in here and let's do this.
Good
Hello,
morning,
Pokey. Hello, Brian. How are you doing?
Morning. Hey. Wonderful. We're in beautiful San Diego, California. So different time zone. So a little punchy this morning, but never too punchy to say kudos to all the telecommunicators in North Carolina. And as always, Ricardo, friend, thank you for, and we've lost it. We may be in and out just a little bit. We're sorry about that.
Oh no, that's fine. I can see you, I can hear you, and even if we for some reason we lose your video, your audio is still coming in just fine. So that is good as well. And you know, you're all out in San Diego. So if you could really quick here, what is it that the both of you are doing out there before we bring Mr. Fonts on as well?
So, Brian, CISA is sponsoring a series of workshops, or what they're calling symposiums, across the country to really bring awareness to cyber health, cyber hygiene for the PSAP community. As you know, North Carolina has an extremely robust program, as we are looking at that for our PSAPs. And they invited North Carolina to come and speak about what we're doing for our PSAPs, the financial investment, the investment of our staff to assist with that. So I got to bring North Carolina's story all the way across the country. Having a little bit of issue with the dialect here, so I'm having to talk a little slower so folks can understand me, but the message is still the same.
Oh, that is perfect.
Brian,
yeah, hi everyone.
Yes. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, let me introduce myself. So I was here last year and many of you might have heard me speak then, but I'm Brian Tegmeyer. I'm the coordinator of NHTSA's National 911 program, the home of 911.gov. We work to provide resources, connect stakeholders, and focus on 911 and 911's ability to impact highway safety. I just want to say right off the bat, thank you for everything you do as a 911 telecommunicator. I started my career as a 911 telecommunicator many years ago. And I have so much respect for your dedication and hard work. And I really wish you the very best National Public Safety Telecommunicator Week this year.
That is excellent, and it's always awesome to work with the both of you. And Pokey, I just wanted to say really quick, as you were mentioning, the dialect, having to speak a little slower, whichever. I know exactly what you mean. A few years ago, I was in Alabama, and I was training folks out there on text to 911, and I knew that I was losing the audience when I started talking a little bit faster. And it was when I finally slowed it down a little bit, then people started to dial in. So I've had that same experience. I know exactly what you're talking about, but all around, a good experience for all of it. It's always been good.
So, yep, talk slower and enunciate. So, So can you imagine all of the issues that AI brings to the table with all of our dialects and the way we all speak and all of our colloquialisms? So that could be another podcast within itself as we talk about that. I have a hard enough time when I'm trying to dial one of those automated numbers about a payment or a bill or a service, and I'm the lady screaming into the phone. Again, I want to say thank you for being there. Our telecommunicators in North Carolina, over 3,000 strong, the job that they do every day. And I know that they hear us say this so often, the first responders, the true heroes under the head that there are no other words to really describe what they do, because they truly are heroes. I think we're breaking up, so we cut audio for just a moment, but
yeah, your
I
audio
want to
is still
say
coming
thank
through.
you to the true folk, the ones that make a difference, whether it's the mom that's having to deal with the 2-year-old that fell in the pool, if it's the older lady that has fallen, if it's someone that's lost. We often say Murphy to Manio for North Carolina, which is the mountains to the beaches, the 10 million people that we serve. Just think all day long across our state, every incident or office, we just want to recognize these folks for the job that they do. Sometimes they are never recognized. They carry that with them home. They carry it with them all the time. We've heard folks talk about that those flashbacks on the calls that they had 5 years ago and the memories that they carry with them. Some folks can't appreciate that and don't understand it. So we're hopeful from our office that just a few days of recognition, honoring them, that gives them that little oomph and that little boost for them to really be proud of what they do. Because from our office, the State 911 Board's office, we are so proud of the job that all of these folks do.
I love that. And you can just see it with your entire staff and everything. You can see it, you can feel it, that that admiration and just everything for those who do what they do, within the trenches of 911, underneath the headset, all of it. And I love it so much. And I want to bring Mr. Brian Fonts on screen here as well. And here we are.
There we go.
Hello, sir. Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. It's a Wednesday, hump day, so to speak. So it's been a great day, and it's always good to see Brian Tegmeyer and Pokey, even if they're in San Diego. I have a deep love and attraction to North Carolina. The person that was responsible for bringing me to NINA all those years ago, Jason Barber from North Carolina. And then also I have a dear tie to Dare County and Avon, North Carolina. So I have a great love for the state and the people in the state, and certainly a tremendous respect for the 911 professionals who serve the public and the tourists who come to North Carolina.
That is perfect. That is excellent. And Brian Fonts, because we've got two Brians here, so I'm just going to make sure to use the last names as we go through this. And
Perfect.
so, Brian Tegmeyer, I want to get to you here in a moment because I want to ask you, kind of what the the mission and everything is that's important this year. But I want to start with Brian Fonts here as he's coming in, after your introductions and such. And for those who are watching and listening who might not know who you are, Mr. Fonts, and what you do with National NINA, if you could give a little bit of background, please.
Sure. Obviously, you got my name correct. I appreciate that because I get
You're
called
welcome.
things. Anything close to fonts, I appreciate. I am the CEO of NINA. I've been here now a little over 15 years, which is surprising. I initially gave a 3-year
Wow.
commitment, but this is
Yeah.
something that I have. Yes. I thought somebody was calling me, but this is something I have just a deep passion about,
Mhm.
and just the whole service of 911, the professionals that provide this incredible service to everyone. And, we're coming up on Telecommunicator Week and just celebrating telecommunicators. And I refer to anyone in the 911 space as 911 professionals because they are, in every sense of the word, professionals. And I know that we've been working with Congress to get 911 professionals reclassified. And the more that we are referenced as professionals, we obviously know we act as professionals and we provide vital service to the public who reaches out in their time of need. So thank you, 911 professionals, during this time that we celebrate telecommunicators and everyone else that's providing this vital service.
I fully agree. Words matter. And that is one of the ones that we're putting out there a lot, right? 911 professionals, not just 911 dispatchers, 911 call takers, or whichever. It's 911 professionals, and I feel the same way too when folks talk about we're doing this stuff in the industry, or we're doing this in the industry, and the industry word to go along with that. A good friend of mine, Roxy Van Gundy, who was recently elected as well. That she was one of the ones who first that I saw on LinkedIn mentioning, words matter. Let's talk about this as the profession, not the industry, because as we were talking now, words matter. So a lot of people have been switching that. I've switched it myself as to say, in this profession that we have. And of course, in some aspects, that word, the other word can be used, but it's one that I've been using a lot. But it all started with Roxy. And I love how you have put that out there as well as 911 professionals. And because, if we can't, we're talking about recognition, right? And that's just a step into the right direction.
Absolutely.
So for NINA, before we get back to Pokey and Brian Tegmeyer, for NINA and such, what are some of the things, I guess, and you kind of touched on this already, but the importance of next week and the continued recognition, the continued push for 911 professionals to be recognized as first responders. I mean, your main stance and some of the things, I guess, that you might have coming up as an organization.
Sure. I mean, certainly we celebrate, and it's a wonderful thing to be able to celebrate professionals who, in many respects, I look at this profession as almost a calling. There's something beyond just the professional work. It's ingrained. It becomes part of your life. And so I love to celebrate that and to recognize that without a doubt. It's perfect. Next week, Congress, well, they're coming back in this week, but hopefully this Congress, whether it's in lame duck or before they go out for elections, will address two key pieces of legislation. And that is funding of Next Generation 911. We had a meeting with our friends at APCO and the Speaker of the House about 2 weeks ago. And, it was voted out of the full Commerce Committee unanimously, and that is to fund Next Generation 911. And so we want to underscore that during Telecommunicator Week, and the 911 profession as a whole needs to be brought into the 21st century. So that's one important thing. And the second important element in legislation, we raised this with the speaker as well, and that is the reclassification of 911 professionals. I just saw this week that I think West Virginia not only reclassified 911 on par with public safety, but also enabled them to participate in the retirement programs they have in their state. So it's incremental progress, but we'd like to see Congress do what needs to be done to recognize the true professional, responsible nature of 911. It is no longer just taking a number with a pencil and a piece of paper. It's providing that triage, and everybody in this call knows that fully. So these are some of the messages we will underscore next week.
That is great. I love that message. I love the continued push, and I thank you very much for to share all of that is there. Now I want to go back really quick here to Brian Tegmeyer, and he you've got a lot of things that you do in your position as well, and I want to mark this before I go back to Pokey too. But for you, Brian Tegmeyer, it's funny to me that I'm continuing to say the whole name every single time. I don't want to just call you Tegmeyer because I don't know. We're homies, we're friends, right? But I feel it like it's disrespectful. So my mama brought me up different. So Brian Tegmeyer, when we're talking about everything that you do, there's kind of something special, really that you're focusing on this year, and what is that?
Well, thanks, Ricardo. For TC Week, I really have been reminded of the importance of self-care, and I know how important that is. Last year, I found myself in an emergency room, which led to a diagnosis of a heart attack and a subsequent heart surgery, and that was something that I hadn't really expected, and I got through it, and I just think that sharing this personal story is important because we have a lot of 6 years in 911. It was very sedentary, high stress environment. I only was answering calls. I want to push the importance of self-care. We've got to take care of ourselves. And as 911 telecommunicators, I really urge you to find the time to prioritize getting to your doctor, getting your blood pressure checked, getting your cholesterol checked, and do what follow-up is needed for your physical and mental health to make sure that you're taking care of yourselves. Because the reality is we need you. We need you, that your community needs you. And you're going to be better at your jobs, and you're going to be a better service to your community, and most importantly, your loved ones if you're around. And that's really my takeaway for this year's theme, because it's been a little bit of a personal journey for me this year. And if anyone can learn from me and prioritize it, get themselves checked out, we can't ignore this ourselves. And we do. I mean, we often do in our profession. We take care of others before we take care of ourselves. And Carolina, and say, hey, check in with yourself, check in on these issues with your physical and mental health, because you are important.
Go on vacation. Take those days off. And I know it's hard right now with staffing shortages, but you've got to place fun. Make an appointment to go on a date night with your spouse, but make an appointment to do something that relieves the stress of the day, because that's just take care of you, the whole you. Ricardo, did we freeze up?
Oh no, the last thing I heard you say was take care of you,
Hello?
and I was just waiting for you to continue on that spot there. But yeah, your audio is coming through just fine. but it looks like you're fully froze. So as we continue,
Ricardo,
yes, sir.
Let me add to what Pokey just said
Mm-hmm.
and just share some information with you. Tomorrow, we will be releasing the second annual Pulse of 911 survey. And in that includes wellness and mental health. And that's vitally important to all of us. And the respondents that participate in the survey gave us a glimpse of some of the issues. One of the things I think is important, and when this information is public tomorrow, you will see that roughly 44% of the respondents who participated in this survey actually have taken up the opportunity to engage in mental health services offered by their employer. And that's up from 36% last year. So that's important. I want to give a shout out to North Carolina. They have been doing an amazing job and in the whole world of health, mental and physical wellness.
Mm-hmm.
And they have had incredible success in that. Pokey, you're back. I'm giving you a shout out for what North Carolina is doing in wellness and health.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yes. Our chapter of NINA, they have really pushed forward with that, creating a workbook, having retreats, being available for PSAPs when incidents happen, being available to individual PSAPs when they have situations in their lives, just really bringing it forward to say, and another cliche, but it's okay to say, it's okay not to be okay. And there are several ways that we're going to help you combat that, aside from really taking the message about mental health, that you have support systems, you have folks out there. We're going to provide resources to help you, whether it is a workbook that you can go and squirrel away, put time on your calendar to go do that workbook. Think about the retreat that they do every spring. Go be with folks who want to share what's happening in their lives. Reach out to a member of that wellness committee if you just want that one-on-one interaction with them. So yes, they are doing a tremendous job with that.
Hats off. Well done.
Yes. Applaud. I applaud you. Yes, that is excellent.
I guess, Ricardo, I'm going to have to do military over.
Oh no, you came through. I heard all of that. Yeah.
So folks, we're not sure what's going on with the signal here. It's been perfect for a day.
It's
what makes this fun.
But we're nimble. We're in 911. We are nimble.
That's right. That's what makes this fun. I love it.
Adapt.
So with that said, I love everything that all of you are doing, your viewpoint and all of this, because I know for a lot of us, and especially myself, years ago, none of this was a thing. It wasn't a thing for people to talk about a lot of these calls or to even think about mental health and wellness. I don't even think those words were ever mentioned unless it just wasn't mentioned before. And to be able to have way more resources now and to have all of these organizations and folks like you who are really pushing this, it's showing all of us, those that are 911, how much you care and how much this is important. And like you said, all of them matter, and they do. And I love that you continue to push this so that people do feel as though they're being recognized, loved, supported, all of it, so that when they do decide to reach out to someone for help, there's not going to be that fear there. There's not going to be a question if they're going to lose their job. It's going to be a place that is really forthcoming and wanting to do so much more for their folks. So just hats off to all of you for what it is that you do.
Absolutely. Here's some other interesting factoids. You'll see more of this tomorrow, but 85% of the people that responded to this survey. Whoops, I'm sorry.
So from a man, I have issues with dealing with something. Hey, I'm struggling with something. That takes a stronger person to be able to do that. And I appreciate that, and I respect that. And even when you think about your friendships, your personal relationships, think about the people who confide or say, "Hey, I'm struggling. Hey, I'm dealing with something in my life." You bond with that person, and you see them as the stronger one, being able to say, "I'm having difficulties."
Right, exactly.
Over next.
Mr. Fonts, there, please continue with your thought that you had for the information that's going to be coming out tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about health and wellness of these 911 professionals. And of the respondents to the survey yesterday, 85% of the respondents indicated that they have symptoms of burnout in the job. And what was really interesting to see is that 95% of the respondents' employers have mental health and general health programs available to their employees. And more this year compared to last year of the respondents are participating in those programs offered by their employer. And yet still, folks are concerned about the stigma of seeking help, or some may feel they just don't have the time because of other obligations of work, family, etc. And in reality, your physical and mental health is your personal items of importance. It is you. And as healthy mentally and physically as you are, then you're able to better serve the public you serve.
Perfect. That is awesome. Thank you, all of you, for being on for this second part for this segment, and we are going to go into the wrap up of this here really quick. So, Mr. Fonts, thank you so much for being on, for everything that you're doing, and people who are watching and listening, make sure to look out for that survey that comes out tomorrow, and I'm sure it's going to be spread out all over the place. I'll make sure to share that as well, and I'm going to go back here to Pokey, and they are going to run inside, and they've got a message and everything. So we're going to follow you into whichever room you're heading into, Pokey and Brian.
Ricardo, if you can hear me, I don't think we're going to have the bandwidth, but there's hey, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes, I can. Yes.
So Brian, I don't think, Ricardo, I don't think we're going to have the bandwidth to do as we planned. We're going to be nimble.
Mm-hmm.
Brian and I has worked to put this together. Our telecom just this week. And then we have an activity planned next week that will be live. We're going to try to do some live streaming ourselves, Ricardo. Don't know how that's going to go, but we just want to honor these folks and say thank you. Thank you for what you do every day, taking care of our citizens. North Carolina has a very robust IP network with our EZNet. We have hosted call handling. We have GIS. But without our telecommunicators, that means nothing. That means nothing to the citizen if there's not that professional sitting there to take their call at the time that they need them.
Exactly. Yeah, and I fully agree, and I love that. I love that we're getting a chance to do this, and you continue to share the stories and everything that all of you are doing. So thank you both for being on. And I did hear you had said that you might not have the bandwidth to go back into that room, but just to let everybody know what was going to happen, they were going to go back into the room with everybody there, and they were going to wish all of you a happy National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week for 2024. And it's a week early, but you matter every single day. So not just that week, but every single day. So thank you all for being here with us. And Pokey and Brian, have an excellent time over there in San Diego. And we'll be closing out here.
Thanks, everyone.
as always, we say thank you for doing this. And before we part ways this week, we're definitely going to schedule what we're going to do next year.
All right. I can't wait. Have an excellent one, and I will talk to all of you soon. All right, everyone. That was excellent. This was part 2 of National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week for 2024 here in North Carolina. Again, a partnership between myself, Within the Trenches podcast, Within Trenches Media, as well as the North Carolina 911 Board. And we just want to mention here really quick that a document is going to be going out here pretty soon in social media, and you are going to be able to sign up, and we're going to be doing some giveaways. So one of the giveaways here, the other giveaway that I have is in my car. It's a hat. Okay. It has, I believe it's one of the either sons or daughters of dispatch, and it has the, this patch here right on the back of it. But this is also another hat that is going to be part of the giveaway. And then there is going to be a bundle that goes out. We're going to have 4 Imagine Listening book bundles. And so this is the book that I published through Titletown Publishing last year. So this is book 1 in a series of books that's going to be going out. And again, this is Imagine Listening. Your worst day is our every day. This contains stories from the I Am 911 movement, and there are a lot of stories here that were submitted, so they're in this book. It's going to be signed as well. So a part of this is also an I Am 911 patch, lapel pin, as well as a wristband. So we've got 4 of those bundles and 2 hats. So it's going to be going out later today. And again, you can just sign up. And then when we go live this Friday, one of those lives there, we are going to be putting the it's basically like a Wheel of Fortune type wheel that we're going to put up there. And all those names are going to be added, and it's going to pick all of those randomly. So make sure to tune in, and we're going to be giving those away. Thank you all for joining us. And this is just day 2 in this tour that we are doing here for National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week for 2024. Once again, with Within Trenches podcast and the North Carolina 911 Board. Thank you all for what you do, and we will be talking to you soon. If you're going to be heading out to Johnston County 911, I will see you there tomorrow for Keep Broadcasting Your Message. And that's going to be an 8-hour course, and we are going to have some fun. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one, everybody.